Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We take your calls nightly. You know the drill. It's 412-575-2600. Also tweet at KDPomp, at Chris Mueller, PGH, who joins us up at 93.7 The Fan, PM team. Winners of the Barrett Sports Media #1 radio show in America. Congratulations to you guys, Chris.
Bob, I sincerely appreciate that. It's very kind of you to take note of that tonight. Give Andrew, Donnie, and Craig even, yes, our boss and former producer. I'll even give Craig some credit, but Andrew and Donnie deserve a ton of it. Those guys are awesome. They make it fun to work with and fun to come in every day and work with. And as you well know, the key to doing a good job in this business is partly at least enjoying what you do. And the three of us are lucky that we do that very much.
Well, you do a great job, and congrats for that. And yeah, you got to enjoy this. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. It's a fun thing, but you got to be invested into it. I'm going to invest myself into some NBA talk. This is going way off script here because not many people want to talk about it, but it was a very busy day. First of all, I should say that Vladimir Tarasenko is going to make the Rangers a really more difficult team. That's an NHL trade that happened, in case you missed it, with the St. Louis Blues. Follows Bo Horvat going to the New York Islanders. And so both those teams are getting better, I think. The Penguins got to deal with that. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. But with the NBA, Kevin Durant now is a Phoenix Sun. They're down in the standings a little bit, but they traded two guys who I like in Bridges and Cam Johnson, plus 4 #1 picks to get him. Does this make Phoenix now a legitimate challenger to win a championship this year?
I mean, the answer has to be yes. You know, they have Ayton, they have Chris Paul, they still have Devin Booker. I know Bridges was kind of the centerpiece player of the deal. I think a lot of those first-round picks, or all of them maybe, are unprotected, so it could be a haul for the Nets if Ayton leaves and then Durant kind of hits the skids. They're a serious contender, but I don't know. I tend to worry about, and I know producer Steve Benko is going to get mad if I say this, I just tend to worry about something going haywire in the playoffs where Chris Paul is involved. But yes, they absolutely are. The NBA's trade deadline, you know, I got a lot of flack for this, Bob, not from you because I know you backed me on it on Twitter, and I think you saw what I was writing early this morning while I was feeding little Ace his bottle. But you wake up and see Kevin Durant gets traded. You've seen all these flurry of moves. Irving goes to the Mavericks. Russell Westbrook, poor guy, gets shipped to Utah. And they have a soft cap. It makes this more possible to do. But these are huge names changing hands that people care about. Like, you want to know one reason why the NHL doesn't have the same level of popularity? The trade deadline in the NHL in, 3 weeks is going to be a couple of face-off specialist fourth-liners who make $850,000 a year. And, can such and such team fit that under their salary cap? Like, player movement is something that people care about, and I think the NHL would be wise to try to figure out how to increase it in season.
Another interesting trade was Wiseman going from Golden State. He was a #1, I believe, overall pick, 1 or 2.
Number two
overall pick. Okay. So, and he's been injured a lot, but I think they got 5 second-round picks for him, which, you know, if you follow the NBA, second-round picks don't necessarily mean all that much, but you can find some good players in there. Were you surprised by that? Because I thought Wiseman was going to be a piece that they could certainly utilize on the inside of their offense based on, you know, the Splash Brothers on the outside. They didn't have a lot of inside presence, and I thought he would help them, but it never worked out.
Yeah, they thought, I think, with him that they were going to do like the rich get richer, where they could stash him because the team was so deep and let him really develop and bring him along slowly, and it clearly didn't work. What I want to know is, does anybody know which second-round picks in the NBA they actually have anymore? Because, I think literally 25 second-round picks have changed hands in the last 24 hours. Who knows who's getting what here? Who has these picks? What picks are they? I would love to know. Picks, obviously, in the NBA, Bob, I think people know they hear 4 first-rounders for Durant as part of that deal, and they go, oh, my God. And that might actually be a pretty bad deal for the Suns in the end if they don't win a title. But people that watch basketball, pro basketball, know those picks pale in comparison to what bringing a superstar does for your team. As far as Wiseman goes, yeah, though, to circle back around to that, Bob, I don't think he developed, and I think the Warriors took a calculated risk that he would, and the injuries have hindered him. You hope a guy like that who has obvious talent can get a fresh start and maybe rebuild his career again.
Yeah, they certainly needed him to be better than he was. Very interesting. I look at what Brooklyn did. They're pretty much now just rebuilding, much like Oklahoma City when they got all those
At least
draft
they have
picks.
Ben Simmons. Hold on, they have Ben Simmons. He might want to shoot 4 times in a game here. Man,
What a terrible deal that was.
Listen, I think you know me pretty well. In fact, I know you know me pretty well, and you probably have a good handle on where my sports opinions lie. I am a big player empowerment guy. I like that in the NBA, like, these guys can sort of finagle themselves into different cities. However, we have gone way overboard when it comes to, like, the kid gloves that Ben Simmons still gets treated with in some corners. Like, you go on NBA Twitter and it's verboten to say the truth about Ben Simmons, which is kind of that he's a whiny baby who doesn't seem to like playing basketball but makes a ton of money to do virtually nothing. Like, we should all have the courage to say that Ben Simmons just kind of seems like a dog out there.
He is. Bark, bark. We're up for a break. We'll take it right now. When we come back, we'll talk about a little Super Bowl. We'll also talk about the Penguins who go out west, and it looks like Tristan Jarry's getting closer to return. We got all that coming up. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh's CW, and it's also simulcast on 93.7 The Fan. Call us when you get a chance. We'll be right back.